So next problem, maybe I'll skip number 14. It looks similar to your number 13. Hi, hello. Okay, so it's already continuing. So for your number 15, uh, uh, so first is to find that critical number, we have to have the derivative or the f prime of x, which is really the derivative with respect to x of 2 all over 3 x cubed, and then you have minus x squared minus 24x minus 4. So that would be a addition formula. So sum and difference. So meaning we have to using that formula we have to distribute. So it's like a distribution. So actually 2/3 x cubed, then you have x squared, then you have 24x, then you have minus 4. Okay, so distribute. So I have here minus the derivative of x squared with respect to x, then the derivative with respect to x, the derivative of 4 with respect to x. Okay, so that's the distribution. The first one is, of course, you have a constant, so you will just go out to all over 3, and then you would find the derivative of x cubed, which is a power formula. Malusa than 3, kakapihon naman x, tapos minus kan 1 hat 3, which is 2. Okay, and then you derivative the x with respect to x, or dx the derivative of u. In this case, that is x, okay, from our formula. Next is, this is already a power formula for derivative of x squared. So, ang tumalosad, an x kakapihon, then minus 1 kaikpaw. And then you have already dx. Okay, nawara. Okay, very good. You have a dx all over dx. Okay, next is, this one is the derivative of 4. So basically it's constant, therefore it's 0. So need not to put it there. This one is 1, this one is 1, cancel. So all in all, you have 3 divided by 3, so that would be cancelled. So meaning our first would be a 2x squared for this, and then how about this one? That would be minus 2x. 2x squared. Actually, you still have derivative of 24x. So that is really 24. So may kulang pa tayo dito, itong 24, sorry. So that is a minus derivative of 24x. So that is, sorry kasi nawawala-wala yung kuwan ko dito. So that is a negative 24. What's happening to my computer? I think anyway. So 2x, you have 2x squared. So you have 2x, then minus 24. Basically, you can extract. I'm really annoyed. I think. Okay. So I can. So that would be my f prime of x. 2x squared minus a 2x minus 24. So next step is to let it to 0. So we say f prime of x is equal to 0. So again, I'm looking for slopes that are straight lines. So 2x squared minus 2x minus 24. I think I can factor out here. So usually the process here is factoring from your algebra, of course. I can factor out 2. So may magawas dito nga x squared minus x minus 12. If I don't have any mistake. 24. I guess waray man lawat. Waray makasayop. So basically you have 0 is equal that. So I can still drop that 0 2 by dividing it into 2. So by that I already have 0 is equal to an x squared minus x minus 12. So by that we will find values of your 12. So anyway, we have to find, we can use quadratic formula. You can use your calculator, of course, to find that, because your advanced calculator has a quadratic formula, advanced, and then, or pwede mano-mano. For mano-mano, let's testing trial and error. Trial and error, finding the roots of a quadratic. So for trial and error, we usually use it like this, and then we equate it to 0. First is because this is x squared, we put x and x. So the first factor would be x times x, that would be an x squared. Okay? The next is find factors of negative 12, that will give you this one. So for negative 12, that should be, anyway, for 12, you have 12 and 1. You have another factor which is 6 and 2. You have another factor which is 4 and 3. So as you can see, the negative here, negative x means you must choose this one. Why? Because 4 minus 3 will give you a negative 1 or a positive 1. So if this is a negative, therefore the 4 should be a negative. So you will say x minus 4, x plus 3. Okay? So that's the trial and error. 4 times 3 is negative 12. So we can double check. X times x is x squared. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. 3 times x is a positive 3x. 3 times negative 4 is a negative 12. By that, negative 4x plus 3x, that will give you a negative x, and then you copy the negative 12. So you go back to the original equation. So really, these factors are the factors, x minus 4 and x plus 3 are the factors of x squared minus x minus 12. So you can safely say that x minus 4 are the factors. So ano to kung factors na? 0, you can divide this by x minus 4, and then it will give you x plus 3, which is equal to 0. Now, x plus 3 is equal to 0, x is equal to a negative 3, because your 3 will go to the other side, and it will be a negative. Or you can minus 3 or minus 3 on the other side. By that, you are cancelling the 3, will retain x, which is the 0 minus 3, which is negative 3. Okay? So going back to your original equation, if you have this, you can also safely say that x minus 4 is equal to 0, because you can divide this by x plus 3, and it will give you same 0, while the x plus 3 will be cancelled. So what will remain is x minus 4, which is equal to 0. Now x is equal to 4 for this case. So you have two critical numbers, the negative 3 and the positive 4. Again, you can do this by quadratic equation. Probably I can put quadratic equation here. So to find that x, you can use the formula negative b plus minus the square root of, okay. So I can have negative b, then you have b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I can substitute x negative b. Your negative b is a negative 1. So negative of negative 1 is a positive 1. So plus minus, you have a you have a negative 12, sorry, a square root, and then you have b squared. So your b is negative 1 still, negative 1 squared minus 4 minus a which is 1, 1, and then c is a negative 12, negative 12. So by that you have 2 times 1. So 1 plus, you have 1, and then you have negative 12 times 4, so that would be a plus. So 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 1 is 4, so that is 48 all over 2. So 1 plus minus, 1 plus minus the square root of 1 plus 48, or the square root of 49 all over. So 1 plus minus, that is 7 all over 2. So you have x is equal to 1 plus 7 all over 2, which is actually 8 all over 2, which is actually equal to 4. And x is equal to 1 minus 7 all over 2, which is negative 6 all over 2, which is equal to negative 3. Okay? So those are your values, just like this. So that is using quadratic equation. Okay, by that, you have identified the critical numbers, that is negative 3 and 4. So you can just graph. Let's say I'll make points from negative, maybe negative 4, from negative 4 up to a positive 5. So, and then use a table. So that is x versus f sub x. So, and then see if how does my graph says. So from negative of 4, so negative 4, you have a negative 3, and then you can insert negative 2. So you don't have to be detail, punta ka kaagad sa 3, and then 4, and then you go to 5, so that you would have a value after 4. So I could use the table for my calculator again. May mano-mano kita yun din eh. At mano-mano yun eh, i-substitute lang nga yung mga value, negative 4, to this equation. Of course, hindi nga mo x cubed, x squared, and 24x. Okay? That would give us the table. So here, I'll just be using table. So I'll just copy it for my table, 2/3, and then alpha x cubed, then minus alpha x squared, and then minus 24 alpha x, and then minus 4. So it will ask me where would I start. I will start from negative 4 down to a positive 5, and then my increment would be 1. Okay, that's already enough. So the calculator will give me now the table of values. So negative 4, that is 33.3. Negative 3, that is a 41. Negative 2 is 35, actually 34.6, 34.7. And then we go to positive 3. Positive 3 is negative 67. Positive 4 is negative 73. And positive 5 is negative 65. So where are your critical numbers? Negative 3 and a positive 4. So by that, you can see from 33.3 versus 34.7 versus 41, your 41 is bigger than these two. Therefore, the graph here looks like this. It goes up and then goes down. Okay? So meaning your 41 is really a relative max. So we don't know yet if it is the highest. So we just term it relative max. How about for your 4? Here you have 34.7, then goes down to 67, negative 67. So meaning from here to here, that is going down. Of course, because you haven't reached the critical number. When you reach your critical number 73, it is already down. So meaning it is already down, and then after that, it will goes up. So meaning it will goes up at 5. So meaning your critical value at 4 is actually a minimum. So again, To safely say, anyway, you can already see, because this extends to infinity, this also extends to infinity. Therefore, this value here at negative 3 is a relative max, while this value here at positive 4 is a relative mean. Relative because there is no minimum really, because the graph goes to infinity. Relative minimum, while this one is a relative max. There is no absolute, because there are no highest point. So there is no max, there's no highest point, because it again goes to infinity. So to answer the problem, where is the part or the open interval where your graph is increasing? So for letters B, if we will answer letter B, the open intervals where the function is increasing. So that would be from here in negative infinity to that particular point here. It's negative 3. So that is from negative infinity to a negative 3. Okay? So that is the open interval if you want to ask the open interval. How about we have another, since increasing also from here, which is 4 to infinity. So again, I have a increasing from positive 4 going to positive infinity. So that is also increasing. While for the letter C, decreasing, the decreasing part only is from negative 3 to a positive 4 or 4. Negative 3 to a positive 4. So this is a decreasing part of your graph. So thank you guys for listening. Share to your classmate, but don't subscribe, because I'll just be sharing this to my next students until I die. Probably I'll be looking at my videos. Thank you.